Welcome back to another episode of the Trash Talk Podcast. We have some throwback stuff today because we're going to be talking about or quizzing about two topics that we originally did that we went into the whole YouTube thing not being familiar with each other. So for JJ, that topic is going to be the NFL and football in general, and for me it's going to be the world of Warcraft and the entire universe surrounding with Hearthstone and obviously WoW and the entire Warcraft lore and history. We're gonna have quizzes on those because originally we started off by when I started playing Hearthstone and getting into the whole thing, JJ would quiz me on a podcast on very, very basic Warcraft stuff, and I would quiz him on very basic NFL stuff.
Yeah, I think mine was technically more of a Hearthstone quiz when we did it last time,
but that relates very heavily.
Yeah,
and I would quiz him.
Yeah. And also, we haven't done this in a while, quizzing each other.
Quizzing each other, first of all, and also throwback stuff, because we wanted to go back and look at some stuff that we've done over the last couple of years that we have changed on or improved on.
Yeah, it's probably going to be hilarious to watch the old ones.
Maybe, yeah, because, like, he in the first one, he asked me to name all 9 Hearthstone heroes. The classic ones, I couldn't do it. I missed Thrall. And, those types of things. And what it was a crazy one I asked you that you couldn't answer. I asked him what team Steph Curry plays for, and he said the 49ers. That was fun.
I guess the 49ers, because with you, that's just kind of like, what team does this player play for that you have never heard of?
This guy, Steph right there is like, no, the Niners.
Dude, that's still like the color scheme totally works for the Rams. That's
I don't know, the older Rams, like right now not so much, but they used to have that color scheme more. So that's true actually. But we're gonna start off with your quiz for me.
I still think that the name looks just close enough that it could totally say Gurley, who has also number 30.
I don't know, man. I won't be associated with that sort of thing. Let's do Warcraft quizzes. In the halftime show, by the way, we'll have another crossword puzzle, which is going to be fun. This one's about golf, I have been told.
Well, I mean, that's the name of the thing, yeah.
Doesn't mean much.
So
what do you got to quiz me? Let's see how much I've known having played Hearthstone and the world.
This quiz is exclusively, if I'm not mistaken, about Warcraft lore.
Alright.
Some of those questions are simpler than others.
That's what I thought.
And they are not necessarily wrapping up in difficulty. It's more like random.
You want to give a prediction of how many I will get right, and how many are there, first of all? 10?
There is 9, 2 of which have sub-questions.
Alright, how many do you think I will get right?
Let's just...
how many would I have to get for you to think it's impressive?
I think that you can reasonably get at the very least most of them.
Okay.
So
high stakes still.
I mean, if you completely ace it, then that might be mildly impressive.
All right.
First question relating to one of the characters that you, I think, like quite a lot, and that is Edmund Van Cleve.
Who said I liked Edmund Van Cleve?
Now, here is the question, right? What organization is he the leader of?
The Defiance Brotherhood.
Correct.
Didn't he betray Stormwind and stuff?
Yeah.
How would I like Edmund Van Cleve?
Technically, the question is, what was he the leader of because he's dead? Yeah. Speaking of, you can elaborate on that further with question 2. Why was the Defiance Brotherhood started in the first place?
Because they were they hired a bunch of dudes to build their stuff, and then they didn't pay him, and then they were like, damn. Nah, homie.
I believe the exact...
Was it masonry or something like that? I think they were masons and they hired him to rebuild Stormwind.
Exactly, they were rebuilding after attacks.
And then they didn't pay him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which brings us to question 3.
Yes.
This is one of the more simple ones. Some of those you have to kind of tell a story, others you can one-word answer. Who was Medivh's apprentice?
Khadgar.
Yes.
I know that from Hearthstone also, but yes, that is...
Yeah. Okay, here come the more like list ones.
Oh boy.
Who were the original dragon aspects?
The original dragon, the 5, right?
Yes.
Naltharion, which was Deathwing later.
Yes.
Malygos, Ysera, Nosdormu, and Alexstrasza.
Correct. And then kind of sub-question-ish. Who were quote unquote the final dragon aspects? Like there was replacements. Well,
there was replacements?
There was a
Yeah. I mean, I guess Deathwing was replaced, I would imagine.
No, actually.
Or what replacements are we talking about?
Well, the role of dragon aspect can be passed on to another dragon.
Right.
as far as I'm aware, and I also didn't see any follow-ups for Deathwing, while Deathwing was killed, I believe, by Adventurous, he was never technically replaced. But there is one that was.
There's one that was replaced, so it's probably not Malagos? Don't think it would be Sarah. It would have been one who died, right?
Yes.
Who died? Alexstrasza died? I don't think Alexstrasza died. Even Nosdormu died. Did Nosdormu? I'm gonna say it's Nosdormu?
No.
No? Then I don't know.
It was Malagos.
Malagos?
Who went mad at some point and was also killed by Adventurous, the players.
Yeah.
And was replaced by Calicos.
Really? I thought Malagos came back. I thought Malagos came back after a while. He was like going nuts for a while, and then later like someone showed up and was like, "Yo, homo, we gotta go beat Deathwing," and then he came back, like because Deathwing killed like his entire flight basically, and then he went mad for a while, but then he came back later. That's how I thought.
I honestly don't know all of the details, but he definitely died and was replaced by Calicos at one point.
Yeah, maybe that was after.
Now resurrection is definitely possible as well. I don't know. And kind of a similar question. This is not relating to the dragon aspect, but this one's a little harder, mostly because of one of them. Who are first of all, the original 4 elemental lords? I believe I asked you that last time as well.
At some point. It's Ragnaros, the Fire Lord.
Yes.
Neptulon, the water person.
Yes.
There's the Wind Lord. And the Earth Mother.
Yes. Names, please.
Alakir, the Wind Lord.
Yes.
Earth Mother, I've heard of, but goddamn, I don't know.
See, and that's the hard part usually because people.
No Hearthstone card.
Exactly.
I know the name, but I can't come up with it right now, man.
It's Therazane.
Therazane, yeah.
And just like this, there's also the sub question here. Not all of those made it. Who are the replacements?
Not all of them made it. I've heard that. So I think Neptulon died, right? Did he not die? I thought Neptulon died. Ragnaros was when I think they were all at some point killed in World of Warcraft.
Well, okay, it could be that they were all killed, but there was 2 that had formal replacements. Both of which died in the same scenario because they allied with the same evil person. Well, person, yeah.
So then Reggie?
Yeah.
And I guess the Earth Mother because Earth. Really, Alakir did?
Mm-hmm, Alakir.
Boy, why would Alakir do that?
And do you by any chance know the replacements?
There was a replacement for Reggie.
Mm-hmm.
Fire Lord something, man.
See, the thing is, I looked them up to be sure, but I could have actually told you all of these just by memory. I wouldn't have been 100% certain on the replacements, but... I
don't know about the replacements. For Reggie's or... No, I don't know.
Smolderon is the replacement for Ragnaros, and for Alakir, the replacement will be Thunderon.
I've never heard of the last one.
Fair enough.
Smolderon I've heard of, but I don't know. Ragnaros died. I knew he was brought back also. They still try to bring him back or something.
Well, I mean, that happens all the time. Yeah. It feels like, oh yeah, like someone died. Yeah. Hey, let's find an excuse for why they're back.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah, right. The next one.
Mm-hmm.
What is Sargeras?
Sargeras was the Titan champion, and he was all super powerful and stuff. And then he went to venture off to find other planets with Titan souls in them. And he found one that was corrupted by the old gods, which was... it wasn't Azeroth right away. He found one that was corrupted with old gods with a Titan soul in it, and he wasn't having any of it, so he destroyed it. And he came back, and then they were like, God damn, you destroyed a Titan, you can't do that. And then he got mad, and because they didn't agree with his methods, he went out by himself to do exactly that, and then he searched for planets with Titan souls in them, and they were corrupted, so then he destroyed them. And at some point later, he imprisoned all sorts of demons because they were, evil and stuff. But then later, he freed them all and basically created the Burning Legion to help him do that sort of thing.
Yes.
Is that enough explanation?
Yeah, no, that's enough. Cool. I think there was the logic at some point where, like, if there's no life can be corrupted by the old gods.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, the basic premise of just, like, Titan went mad.
Yeah.
God. The Mad Titan. How was Archimonde, killed is not entirely correct because that's not how demons work, but how was he defeated
Well,
back when he was attacking.
In World of Warcraft, he there's Archimonde's last stand, and he got killed, and then he, I think, like Gul'dan tried to sneak out through a portal or something. That's what I remember. But how was he actually killed? I don't know by whom he was actually killed.
Well, the funny thing is,
there's this great instance that's Archimonde's last stand, and at the Dark Portal or something, and then
I think there's a the game itself doesn't have cutscenes, I believe, but like a trailer or something where we can actually see it where he's being ripped apart by 1,000 wisps.
By wisps, real.
That's the funny thing about that. That's just
what trailer is that for?
I don't remember. There's a video of that, right. Like officially an official video.
Wisps.
I'm not sure what exactly it was for.
My dude, one of the most powerful creatures of all time gets.
Well, the thing is, when demons die, they are sent back really to the
Twisting Nether.
Twisting Nether, yeah. So that's what happened there. He wasn't actually killed. That's why I put that in.
They tried to res him later.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Here's a fun one. And you might know this a little bit through Hearthstone, but there's technically more detail you can go into there. Which band created songs such as I Am Murloc and The Power of the Horde?
How would I supposed to know what? That's not related to Warcraft lore at all.
It is actually.
Really?
They exist in the game.
The band exists in the game?
Yes.
The band in the game?
Yes.
In the world or in the Hearthstone?
World of Warcraft. There is also a character representing them in Hearthstone.
He's there.
Yes.
I don't know, man. Like ETC, the rock guy?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
The band is called, the band now is called Elite Horn Chieftain.
Yeah.
They were originally called Level 60 Elite Horn Chieftain, but then when they raised the level cap, they kept changing their band name, and then they just decided to remove that level part.
They created those type of songs? That was that was a guess. I didn't know that for sure.
Because the cards that ETC generates are Rogues Do It From Behind. I think the cards actually just called Rogues Do It ...
The power.
I Am Murloc and Power of the Horde.
Yeah.
Which are all songs by the band Elite Horn Chieftain, made up of Blizzard employees.
Didn't know that.
It's kind of like the official, unofficial band of Blizzard.
Yeah, fair enough. Like
where
Katina that sort of thing.
Where they make songs themed around Blizzard games, and there is I would guess an Orgrimmar. I'm not exactly sure. There's some because they're all Horde characters.
Yeah.
There is a place where I'm not sure if they're always there, but they can definitely show up. Actually, the characters that is like the singer I believe is the Tauren, and then there's like an undead in there, and I think like a blood elf.
Right.
They are technically in the game, and also it is still a Warcraft related question.
Yeah, I guess.
Very
specific, but cool. I got it.
Okay. Final question.
Yeah.
And this one kind of relates a little bit to the upcoming Hearthstone expansion.
Ooh.
What's the deal with Galakrond?
What's the deal with Galakrond? Oh, he was a mutated proto-drake. And then he started eating everything. He started eating other dragons and stuff. And he grew and grew and grew. And then he moved on to cannibalizing folks because they didn't have enough to eat for him. And then at some point they were like, God damn, man, we can't have that. We got to take this guy out. And then they tried to do that. And then they failed. And tried it again. And then they shoved a big rock down his throat and killed him that way.
So yeah, the point that I was trying to get at is, he was a proto-dragon. He started eating all the other dragons. And then the other proto-dragons that would later on become the dragon aspects band together to defeat him. I believe they were also given help by the Titans. They were given,
they had this one guy who was there.
So the Titans basically turned these 5 proto-dragons into the dragon aspects so as to defeat
They had some type of Titan keeper on Azeroth who helped them.
Because that's how they became the dragon aspects, which actually kind of brings us, well, not quite full circle. It wasn't the first question, but back around to the dragon aspects that we talked about earlier.
That's true.
So that was the
I think some of them were okay. So lore wise, I think it pretty well. Some of the details, like the wisp stuff with Archimonde, like that's kind of tough to get.
That's just a funny thing that gets brought up sometimes as like an
that's
like
kind
a funny
of
anecdote.
The transition.
Or remember how Archimonde was killed by 1,000 wisps? Kind of sort of.
Was he actually killed by the wisps? Or?
Well, he was sent back to the burning to the
Nether. Yeah. But the wisps were the ones who killed him. Like, wasn't he like defeated in battle and just wisps came up and swarmed around him a little bit?
No, I believe the wisps were integral to the defeat there.
What? How do you get killed by wisps if you're that guy, man? That sucks. They try. Did they actually? Matter of fact, did they resurrect him later? I don't even know. I don't remember.
I mean, they never resurrected him. He just like
well, they
came
tried
back
to summon him.
being
They
in the
tried to
Twisting Nether. I'm not
summon him back.
They might have summoned him again.
And Kel'Thuzad tried to summon him back. I think.
Actually, that reminds me. You know, that always bugs me a little bit. There is the one guy in Hearthstone who looks like Archimon, and whenever I see him, I just think Archimon, and can never remember his name. I have to always think about it.
What's the card?
The one that adds 5 legendaries to your deck.
Oh, Malchezaar.
Malchezaar, yeah.
Does he look like Archimon?
Dude.
No.
every single time I see Malchezaar, I'm like,
these guys look like... they look like Draenei because they are, right?
Yeah.
Is Malchezaar also Draenei?
Well, technically, they're not Draenei, they're Eredar.
Yeah, okay.
Which is the original species, Draenei technically being the Eredar word for outcast, and then when they didn't join the Burning Legion, the one tribe that was following Valen then called themselves the Draenei afterwards.
Valen's a goat.
I believe he is, yeah.
He's one of the goats. He's pretty good. I mean, he understood.
I mean, they're literally goat people, okay? They have hoofs.
Yeah.
And tails and stuff.
He got it, man. He knew what was up. And his homeboys were like, nah, man, this Titan guy, man, he knows what he's talking about. And I was like, nope, not fooling me. And he was right. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Big brain. All
right. If there's nothing else to add about Warcraft,
I think I did pretty well.
We're
got some stuff to improve. The name of the Earth Mother almost impossible to get. But,
I'm pretty sure we've had that before though, and you have better memory than me.
Yeah, but that's very very tough.
I've gotten to a point where because it comes up every now and again, I finally actually can able to remember it.
All right, let's do the halftime show. We got quizzes. Well, not quizzes. We're
doing
a crossword.
Golf.
We play some golf between football and Warcraft. We have some golf. Some boring stuff. This is the old people segment. Let's do it. Scoring even, like in golf?
Yeah, I think they mean par.
Par, yeah. Oh, it's actually just golf terms. Christ.
No Scrubs group is TLC.
Right.
One over.
Also in golf?
Well, I would assume so, yeah.
Birdie. Wait, is it birdie? No, it's not, right? It's not. No, it's not. It's something else. I'll come up with it. Is it eagle?
I can try.
Yeah, well, we can also try the other golf terms. If we get one letter, we can probably get it.
Yeah, let's just wait for that, I guess.
Yeah.
So let's get back to the top left corner because we like doing that.
Matures.
Yeah. By the way, the yellow ones, of course, are golf terms.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. The yellow golf. Got him.
Hawaiian port.
Honolulu.
How the fuck?
Just the most intuitive way. Just single letters.
No.
HONOLULU. Yeah.
I wasn't sure if it was Honolulu or Honolulu at first. Then we also have
Fui. What?
I mean, it's probably a vowel there.
It's
P something H. It's like pa, p, pa.
Okay.
In the past. Is it a go?
A go, yeah.
Stimpy's
Ren.
partner, Ren. Yeah, Ren and
Ren
Stimpy.
and Stimpy.
Fizzy drink. Soda.
Jinx, bruh.
No.
Yeah, okay.
Burning lit.
Okay.
More faithful.
Truer? Come on.
Adjective for John or Wayne.
Oh, Christ. Lil.
Oh. Courtroom address.
What's the 14 across? Maybe we can get that. Rio, yeah. Council? No, council.
Oh, sorry.
S-E-L.
Obviously. What?
S-E-L.
S-E-L. Council, yeah. Sorry. What is this, by the way? 3 under.
Albatross. That's a golf term.
Whoops. Fuck. It happens to me every time because it skips the letters. Albatross. Yeah. There we go. We also have art class models.
Art class models. 21 down?
21 down is...
Military branch. U.S.A. or N?
A for Army.
N for Navy. Yeah.
AF for Air Force.
Yeah,
yeah, I know.
Coast Guards. No one ever remembers.
No one cares about the Coast Guard.
Awesome.
3 letters.
I don't know.
Also lit.
Yeah.
Nibbles. Bigger than big. Is it? Which does huge doesn't fit at all. Giant doesn't fit either. Toothpaste type. Type.
Storm Center.
I. Word of approval.
Yes.
So.
Terrible. Bogey. Got it. Right.
Steakhouse choice.
Popeye is not a steakhouse, is it? No, that's chicken. That's not a steakhouse. No, it's also Popeyes.
Genus of spider monkey. Jesus Christ.
Got it. What's 25 down again? Have you looked at that?
25. Where the fuck is 20?
The O.
Oh, the O.
Actor sheriff.
Sharif, probably. Sounds vaguely Indian.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or Middle Eastern.
Well, yeah, in the same.
Waiter's offering. Menu.
Oh. Some of these are
weird.
Ancient. It's like, sorry. It still bugs me that it doesn't work.
Sully. Mar? Yes.
I still don't know what that means, but sure.
22 down. Amp. Electrical unit. Gibbon. Right. What?
What was this ancient? Okay. Like Canada's Columbia, British.
Oh, British Columbia. Awful.
British. We still don't know what this is. Soviet Space Station.
MIR.
Part of the psyche.
Can we get 34 across?
It still says ancient.
Yeah, like prime something.
Right,
nice.
because it's LIR. Primeval?
Yeah.
No, it's just an E, right?
Yeah. A instead of the I.
A.
No, A instead of the I.
Oh, primeval,
yeah.
right. Fuck's sake.
Got it.
Part of the psyche starts with an E, apparently.
Oh, the ego.
Oh, it's Nietzsche.
Yeah.
Presidential power.
Veto.
Veto. I do know my Latin. Omar?
Tiger.
Omar,
yeah,
right?
Omar because tiger.
Oh, yeah.
Easy.
I was
We can start 43 across. Yeah. Christy Sleuth. Oh, Christ. I don't know. A piece.
Praiseful poem. Sheeran
and O'Neill.
E.G.
Ted O'Neill? No.
Detox place.
Rehab. Who's called O'Neill? Shaq? Doesn't fit at all.
No, it ends with an S, as 3 letters.
Right.
In a frenzy. Angry? No, but it does fit.
Yeah.
Transported as by water or wind.
Born. O-R-N-E.
Yeah, what?
O-R-N-E.
Oh, there is no you there. Born, yeah. Airborne, yeah. Waterborne, yeah. Fifth element.
Boron. Yeah.
I was trying to figure out which. I can tell them easier by group.
Yeah.
I mean, I could have just subtracted. It's the third group, yeah. But the Raven Woman.
Lenore,
right? Yeah, Lenore.
The Raven. One of the best poems ever.
Yeah, we've had the full thing on the channel before. Yeah,
I'll believe it.
Prepares. 2 under.
This could be eagle. It's all. The yellows are all golf.
Yeah. 4G. LTE probably, yeah.
Wait. Is by any chance I haven't seen this 42 across by any chance Woods? Because Tiger Woods. C41 across, I swear to it's Tiger Woods. Gotta be. Yeah.
What was the 41? Was the question there even? He was open champ with okay.
Yeah.
With 42 across.
Didn't even read
it. Yeah.
We might get some of these.
Right. Prepares we still don't have. Geological time is an era. Pester is nag.
Nag.
And this is in a frenzy.
What?
It seems like it should
you
be
get the across 70 across. Prepares. Trains. A boil. Wow, that's the word I've never heard before.
Well, I mean, boiling is a word I know, but letter before sigma.
Letter before sigma is rho. RHO.
Right. I had the thing.
Is the ace a hole in one? Nice.
Just born baby. I don't think they're looking for the word newborn. Based on the O in there.
Yeah. No.
Well, the O placement of the
sweater fabric. Wool. I would think.
I was thinking something more sophisticated. I don't know.
Cotton.
On top of. Upon. Cry of pain. Sob? No. It doesn't make sense. Is it oof?
No way.
It's oof. It's big oof. It's a big oof.
Large oof. Okay, got him.
Handheld device for sure.
Was it PDE? PDA?
Oh, the personal digital assistant?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's PDA. Orchestra leader.
Maestro.
I mean, I've heard that, but I wouldn't have been able to get it from that. Frigid.
Isn't cool though.
If the word is ice, then I'll be.
What did you say? Icy?
What?
Icy?
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Salt Blank Marie. I don't know her.
Do we have Popeye by any chance? 38 across. Yeah, cartoon spinach eater. Yeah. This is Popeye.
He's like, somewhere there's gotta be Popeye in this quiz. God damn. Performance stage is act.
Yeah.
And then we have, what is this? Big rigs.
Oh, semis. Semi-trucks.
Oh, God.
We're doing pretty good here.
What do we have here? We've looked at all of these already.
Nibbles.
Bigger than big. Okay. Is it obese?
Really?
Toothpaste type. Goo?
Goo.
Gel?
Yeah, maybe gel.
Mm.
Yeah, alright.
It is. Oh, ribeye.
Ribeye. I wasn't about the house, but the meal. Oh, okay. Now I got it.
Genus of spider monkeys.
I still have no clue.
Awesome. Rad. Oh wait, is it just nudes for the?
Oh, that's
for
the R class models,
yeah.
right? So B-I blank at nibbles.
Nibbles.
Bites.
Yeah. A piece. That just jumped us there right away.
What's the cross?
Praiseful poem. We also have Christie Sleuth and Sheeran and O'Neill, e.g.
Who's called Sheeran or O'Neill?
The only Sheeran I know is that guy Ed, the musician.
Ed's.
Oh, it's Ed.
Is there an Ed O'Neill? Oh no, Ted O'Neill. I think Ted O'Neill, right?
The plurals always screw me over. Praiseful poem is an ode.
Yeah.
A piece.
Per? Like, per piece.
I still don't know who Christie is.
No.
Survivable. Oh, we haven't even done that yet.
Non-fatal.
That's dumb.
Well, that's true. Sandwich cookies. Oreo,
yeah. Deli
we should get this.
Yeah. Deli bread, I don't know. Author Rand, I also don't know, actually. Author Harper, I also don't know.
Harper Lee.
I should know. I should really know authors more.
Harper Lee.
We can figure that out later. Central point. Like a center?
Mm-hmm.
Charged particles of ion? I know that. Get rid of. Eject.
Dang it.
See, the problem is whenever I say something that sounds vaguely far-fetched but fits, it's wrong. Whenever he says something like that, it's just correct.
Man, it's... Dude, you don't know, man. It's all the technique. You would get it.
Just born baby. Neo.
Oh, it's some Latin stuff.
Is it?
Neo. Try EER. EER. Something like that. I swear to God, it's something like that.
We can probably figure it out based on the other ones here, though.
Yeah.
Deserts. Poetic contraction. Away from. Oh yeah, that's ENE.
Yeah.
That's east northeast. The other one was west southwest.
Yeah. The golf peg is a T. 75. Yeah, 75 across.
Fencing weapon.
Ah, Christ. No, let's try to get the down ones. Choose.
Select.
Yeah.
Pick. No, that's not. Bridal bio word. What?
See.
Also, we still need the Daily Bread / author Rand. Anne?
Why?
Wait, why?
Yeah, why?
There?
Yeah.
Oh, Rye.
Rye bread, obviously. Ugh, terrible.
Kanga's kid. We haven't actually not seen that one question.
Who's Kanga?
I don't know. Get rid of.
Huh.
Eliminate.
Yeah.
Central point.
And come on, we gotta do this somehow, man.
It's like nucleus.
Nuke? Is it nuke? Try if it's nuke. No. Desert.
Fencing weapon, poetic contraction. We also have the is it neonate? Yeah.
Neonate.
Storage space. Actually, have you seen that one? Anyways, this one is
Can? Bin? Gross. I hate you.
Desert starts with AB and poetic contraction starts with tis. Get rid of is something. This is still something.
Erase? Yeah. Deserts. Abandons? As in desert islands or abandoned
as in deserted, abandoned. Yeah.
Not the actual desert.
Central point node.
Oh, node.
Choose. Opt.
E. Yes! Got him!
With 5 minutes to spare almost.
Destruction. That was good. That was the best one we've done so far, by far. I think the golf stuff helped us because we kind of figured most of those words out pretty quickly.
Well, you did. I honestly besides Tiger Woods.
But you've heard all of those. You had par by yourself.
Yeah, well, par, yeah.
And you've heard all of the other ones too. Hole in one, a tee.
I mean, okay, hole in one, yeah.
That's all the golf terminology.
Bogey, I've heard, but albatross and eagle, I would not have associated with.
They're all a lot of golf,
with golf,
a lot of bird terms, yeah. But yeah, that's a golf that helped quite a bit. And we had some easier ones also. Like we've had quizzes where we had like 3 words, and from the clues there was nothing we could figure out. And this one it was doable. So I appreciate those types, more of these, because I want to win those every once in a while. But let's hop into the fact of the week. Let's go big again. There we go. JJ.
Well, my fact of the week.
While I have a sip of this beverage, sponsor of this episode of TrashcanTV Trash Talk Podcast beverage, JJ, you go on.
My fact of the week actually relates to Warcraft and to Hearthstone, which
crazy
is
it's almost like that fits.
And specifically, it relates to a character that appears in a game mode that we play a lot lately, which is Battlegrounds. The character is AFK, and you know that her design, like based on the clothes that she's wearing and stuff, she looks like a mage. Like that's one of the mage outfits you can get in World of Warcraft. Okay. And that is actually the character is a reference to the fact that sometimes for raids, I'm not sure if it's still a practice, but at least it used to be that they would just get mages just to like summon them the foodstuffs.
Yeah.
And then they wouldn't really have a job besides that.
I mean, you can always do range damage, but yes, mages are definitely used a lot for just brewing up potions and creating portals and all that. So basically like backstage stuff.
So the idea is that you could just spawn all of the like food stuff, and then you could just go AFK. And she's literally eating a cupcake in the picture. So that's
a nice reference. I didn't know that. That's interesting. Yeah, I haven't played like any high tier raid stuff. I just got not even to max level, but to max level on the subscription base. So I just kind of played a bunch of the lower raids. But yeah, I've heard of that. That definitely is true. But though they are, it's still pretty good range damage, so you can still use them later. That's an interesting fact. Let me give you my effect. I have to look this up. There's an article there because it's a small segment that I have to actually read out for it. And this is related to, or if you want to, I can let you guess. First of all, what city has the nickname the Windy City?
That is, let me remember this correctly. It's Chicago.
It's Chicago, yes. And the reason is not because it's windy in Chicago. The reason that it's called the Windy City is, quote, Chicago's nickname was coined by 19th century journalists who were referring to the fact that its residents were windbags and full of hot air. There's a fact for you. That's why Chicago is called the Windy City. Don't you love that one? I like that.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And these days people they brag about it, like, oh yeah, I'm from the Windy City, man. Because they don't know where it's coming from, which confirms the whole thing, which is not very ironic at all, but it's just true apparently. I don't know. I didn't know it either though before, and that's fun. I also, you just assume it's because of wind, right?
Yeah.
But then again, why would it be extraordinarily windy in Chicago, right? Like you would think like Detroit more so than, I don't know. But that's how it is. Second topic, your turn. Get some quizzes. Let me just quickly look over this. First of all, you can tell the people your expectations. Let me just quickly look over this and see how many I expect you to get.
I will do okay.
You'll do okay? That's a broad range. It depends on the questions I'm being asked.
Well, I mean, yes.
Yeah, we're always trying to bring our best performance. Gotta do our work properly next 2 days. We got Wednesday off, get in the film room, study the film a little bit, and then start preparing on Saturday, try to do our best. Classic coach talk. Love it. Alright, NFL quiz or football quiz. See how much of this stuff you know. First question. And these, by the way, are not in particular order in terms of difficulty.
Yeah,
they're just,
I did that too.
What is the newest NFL franchise that excludes relocation? So we're not talking about the Chargers or Rams moving to LA.
Yeah.
The newest that came into existence.
The newest.
And actually the only one that came into existence in the 21st century.
Okay. I'm also not sure, but is it by any chance the Ravens? I know that they are somewhat recent because they were the Browns.
They were the Browns. It's actually the Houston Texans.
Oh, it's the Texans.
They're one of the expansion teams that came the last,
See, I have a rough idea which ones are like the old teams, which ones are the new ones, but I couldn't have told you the exact progression.
So it's the Texans for this one. What's the most common first name and surname combination among NFL players?
Wait. Most common combination or most common individually?
Both individually most common that would lead to the on average most common combination.
Okay, so it's the individual most. Okay. It's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, there is also like, first of all, there is just for last names especially, there's just the ones that are like straight up related, which happens sometimes. When you got,
it's not going to be Watt or Bosa. Even
I was about to say when you got like multiple Watts and Bosas running around. That was going to be my example too. I've seen a couple of different Hills. I've seen that. Then there's just some generally very common names like Jones and like, I mean, I guess it's probably something like that. I mean, statistically speaking, you would assume that there's just something like John Smith or something like that.
You want the answer, or do you want to guess names individually, or is John Smith your answer?
I have seen a couple of Joneses, which is also a common name in general. Let's see. First names that happen a lot. Boy, what first names do happen a lot? Yeah, I think we explained enough.
The correct answer is Mike Williams.
Okay.
Mike Williams. The most common top 5 most common first names, by the way.
Is it actually Mike?
Yeah, Mike.
Huh. I've seen a couple of Michaels, but I don't think I've seen
the most common 5 most common first names are Mike, Josh, Ryan, Brandon, and Chris.
Oh yeah, there are a lot of Josh.
So Chris Williams is also pretty close, by the way. All right. Who is at this current point of recording, also point of upload of this podcast, the all-time leader in passing touchdowns in the National Football League?
Okay, there's... See, last time I looked at the top 5 passing yardage and touchdowns, I think stuff has changed since at least 2 of the players up there are still in the league. Is it by any chance Breeze?
No, he's the leader in passing yards.
It's yards, yeah.
It's yards.
See, because like up there, it's like Breeze, and then there's Brady, and there's Favre, and like Marino, and like those guys.
That's yards.
But like 4 out of 5 of the top 5 yardage were also the top 5 touchdown guys.
It's the one guy you haven't mentioned yet.
Oh, for fuck's Of course it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm blanking right now. I'm probably
it's
not
Peyton Manning.
Oh, right.
He's currently leading Tom Brady by 8 touchdowns. So by the end of the season, that might have changed, or later than that. But at this point, it's still Peyton Manning with, I believe, 538. But that's not a number I sourced. That's just something.
Speaking of all-time great quarterbacks, right? How did I blank that one? But it's those. Wait, I did mention 5 guys, didn't I?
Yeah, Favre. You mentioned Favre, Breeze, Brady, and Dan Marino.
Okay, so it's
and then
4.
Peyton Manning.
But because there's 6 total that are in those 2 top 5, so I'm not coming up with one of the others as well. But yes, it does matter.
Yeah. Okay. What college did Alvin Kamara attend before he was drafted into the NFL?
I don't know, man.
Don't want to take a guess?
No.
The University of Tennessee. I thought you might know that. All right.
The thing is, every now and again, when they have like the player interest, you hear it.
They'll show it.
As if I was gonna remember.
Yeah, it's a favorite player, right? I thought you might know. Okay, this one you might. This is a several parter, and there was several facets. So, name at least one quarterback drafted before those people, respectively. Dak Prescott, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson.
Oh, you mean in the same draft?
In their same drafts. They were all drafted in different years. Yes. So start with Dak Prescott. Name at least one quarterback drafted before Dak Prescott.
See, those are facts that get thrown around sometimes, but it's hard, man. Wait, Dak was drafted somewhat early, though, right? No. Most of those were, right?
He was drafted actually in the mid round. He was not a first runner.
Oh boy, then there should be a lot of options there, huh?
2 very famous ones. The guys that went first and second overall in the same year.
Okay, I don't know right offhand.
For example, Jared Goff and Carson Wentz.
Oh, okay, right.
All right. How about Patrick Mahomes?
Wait, what was that? The draft where Trubisky was the first quarterback?
Yeah, Trubisky is the correct choice. Yes, and Lamar Jackson.
That's also one where I wouldn't know offhand. When was he drafted?
That you should definitely know. Because I covered that whole thing extensively.
Oh, so it was that draft.
It was that.
Well, then probably Baker, right?
Yeah, Baker, Darnold, Rosen, and Josh Allen, all before Lamar Jackson.
That's a lot of people.
A lot of people. Yeah. And okay, that's
I just recently saw the Trubisky thing when they had like the
he was also picked before Deshaun Watson. Draft, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I think it was the graphic that they actually put up during the game. Was like Trubisky, Mahomes, Watson. Like
they traded up to get him too. The Bears traded up from 3 to 2 to pick Trubisky.
Well,
that was tough day in the office, man. All right. Name any combination of 6 teams that combine for the majority of Super Bowl victories.
6 teams that combine for the majority of Super Bowl. Oh, God.
We've played 53 Super Bowls so far.
Yeah. I mean, Patriots got to be in there, I think. Steelers had a lot of them back in the day, I believe. What other teams were?
We need a combination of at least 6 teams. We have 2 so far.
Oh, God. See, the thing is, I'm trying to think of teams that I know won multiple, at the very least, Super Bowls, ultimately many. Which is actually not that easy. I know those 2 have a lot, I think.
Yes, those 2 have the most. So they're
okay, yeah,
they are definitely reasonable in all packages there.
Who has... The question right now is just who else has...
53, so you have to get to at least 27 total Super Bowls between 6 teams.
Okay, yeah.
Now you're already at 12 with those 2.
Well, I feel like I'm not doing too horrible here.
No, that's alright. I think you should get this, though. You should be able to get all of them. There's 2 more teams who have 5 and 2 more teams who have 4. And then there's like 3 teams who have 3.
Okay, and wait, we're at 12, so 15 more, so I don't even have to perfectly do
if you get the 3 best, you can then just name any team that won a Super Bowl at all. Basically.
It's the thing is I don't know that much about the history of the NFL is the problem, which is of course where this is.
You definitely know this. You definitely know this.
I mean, we've done the full thing.
It's been my fact of the week before. Also, like it's been my fact of the week before. These 6 teams combined for the majority of titles, and you can.
Okay. How do you feel about the Dolphins?
The Dolphins? I don't think so.
Weren't they undefeated one season?
Yeah, one season. But
that means they won at least one.
Yeah, they won 2. Well, I mean, okay, Dolphins, I'll count them. That's 3. You gotta name 3 more.
I mean...
They're now at 14 Super Bowls.
That means I need... Oh god, that means 30 more. That means I need to be very close to perfect. Because I need to get the top...
3 more.
Either one of the fivers at least. If I don't get that with the next pick, I'm...
Yeah.
Well, no.
You're
one
at
of
14,
the fivers,
you need to get
and then
27.
2 4s or a 5 and a 3.
Yeah, you need 13 out of 3 teams.
It's not easy, man.
It's not easy.
Broncos?
Check on the Broncos. Broncos got 3 Super Bowls.
I'm still in it.
Still in it.
If I pick one with less than 4, now I have to.
How many you got?
No, I have to pick 2. I have to pick the 2 fivers.
The 2 fivers, yeah. You need exactly 10.
Oh boy.
That's 2 for 2 right now.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not about to get both of them. I might somehow get one, but How about the Bears? They used to be good, right?
The Bears have... Oh, where the Bears? They have only 1.
Oh, boy.
They only have
No,
one Super Bowl.
never mind then, I guess.
Alright, so, a lot of combinations here will be possible. I'm just going to read off all the teams that have at least 3. So, the Broncos, Redskins, and Raiders have 3 Super Bowls.
Okay.
The Packers and Giants have 4.
Oh, right. The Giants beat the Patriots twice, yeah.
And also the Lawrence Taylor days.
Mm.
The Cowboys and 49ers have 5. And then the Patriots and Steelers have 6. So Cowboys, Niners were kind of the big ones in this.
Yeah.
So that would have been those 2 would have been the correct combination there. But yeah, Steelers, Patriots. All right. So I mean, you almost got it.
I feel good about knowing the Steelers and Patriots being definitely up there. Well, Patriots is kind of obvious because it's a lot of recent stuff. But
the Steelers is kind of just they have the most Super Bowls. So
yeah.
It's just sort of how it is. All right. This is an interesting one. Name at least one NFC team and one AFC team that Ryan Fitzpatrick was never on, including the roster and the practice squad.
It intuitively sounds like it would be an easy question, but based on that, it's probably not. Just for the heck of it, can you tell me how many teams there are that I could get reasonably?
The majority of teams.
Okay, the majority.
He was not on the majority of teams. The point is he's known for being on many teams. It's more of a joke question than anything.
One AFC team and one NFC team.
One AFC team, one NFC team.
Well, let's pick a team that's known to make good personnel choices. How about the Saints?
That's correct. Yeah, the Saints never had Ryan Fitzpatrick.
AFC teams, who makes good personnel choices? How about the Patriots?
Yes, that's also correct. Yeah, he's usually jumping from mediocrity to mediocrity and so forth. But yeah, that was more of a fun question. Those were definitely both correct. All right, here's an interesting one, right? How many non-quarterbacks were selected first overall in the NFL draft since the year 2000? How many, and can you name any of them?
I know there was one defense player drafted first overall one time, I believe. I don't know the others. Wait, since 2000 you said?
Since 2000, starting with the 2000 draft.
So that leaves us with 19 drafts is my math. Wait, well, including 2020 drafts, right? Because the
2020 draft hasn't taken place yet.
Yeah, but 2000?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh yeah.
20
until the 2019 draft. Yeah.
Yeah.
How many of those were non-quarterbacks?
Let's just say 5.
The answer is 6, actually.
Shucks.
Can you name any of them?
No.
Not at all?
No,
you definitely know some of them. You might not know if they were picks. So first one is Courtney Brown in 2000 out of Penn State to the Cleveland Browns. Who would have thought? The next one is in 2006, Mario Williams out of North Carolina to the Houston Texans. I would have known that one. Next one is Jake Long, offensive tackle, out of Michigan to the Dolphins. And we have Eric Fisher out of Central Michigan to the Chiefs in 2013, also an offensive lineman. And back-to-back years, 2014, Jadeveon Clowney, defensive end, South Carolina, to the Houston Texans. And Myles Garrett.
Yes.
Oof. To the Cleveland Browns in 2017. All the other ones, quarterbacks. So yeah, that's quarterbacks. By the way, if you notice, I haven't looked through this. I'm gonna do it live right now. The last pick that didn't immediately affect the quarterback position was Keyshawn Johnson, 1996. See, the quarterback is so valuable that the second most important position is the guy who takes him down, and the third most important position is the guy who protects him.
Yeah.
That's how important the quarterback is these days. All right.
It kind of makes sense the quarterback is important, right? Because he pretty much touches the ball at every play.
But it hasn't been that way in the past. It's getting more and more.
Yeah, but the only guy who was more contact with the ball is the center.
Yeah, but there were times in like 20, 30 years ago when running backs and defensive backs were on the same vein. Like you had the drafts where there's a great quarterback and a great running back, and it was totally up to the guy to decide what I want. Like it wasn't obvious always quarterback pick. All right, here's a bunch of quarterbacks, veteran quarterbacks. Can you tell me who of those was not drafted by the team that they have made their name with and are currently on?
Oh boy.
Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr.
Is that his actual full? Yeah,
yes,
nice.
Tom Brady, Eli Manning, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Ben Roethlisberger.
Okay.
There could be multiple correct answers, by the way.
Yeah.
Who was not drafted by the team that they are currently on and have made?
If memory serves, Brees has played for 2 teams in his career, meaning that there's a good chance that he wasn't drafted by the Saints. Then let's see. Can you go through this again?
Tom Brady, Eli Manning, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Ben Roethlisberger.
I think Eli.
Right.
I'm not sure though. And I wouldn't be surprised if Brady was on there just because he was drafted so late. I see the thing is, 6th round draft, like that's something that gets. I have no clue who drafted him, but based on being such a low value draft pick, it could have been anyone. And then I guess I'm just gonna guess that the other ones weren't. I don't know.
Okay.
That's
so
like half is probably wrong.
So it's Brees, Manning?
I know for a fact that Brees played for 2 teams. That's
yeah. I mean that is correct. So the Tom Brady was drafted by the Patriots. That's
okay. Fair enough.
The Brees situation was correct. He was drafted by the Chargers, traded to the Saints later because they didn't think it was good enough. Yeah. And the Eli Manning situation is where it gets crazy because Eli Manning was it was a quarterback class 2004. You had Eli Manning, you had Ben Roethlisberger, and Phillip Rivers in that class. And so I might have to read this off, but essentially Eli, I'm actually going to look at the entire draft. So Ben Roethlisberger was selected by the Steelers. He's been there his entire life, so that's correct.
So that was correct, yeah.
And the other guy who was correct was Brady, and Aaron Rodgers was also picked by the Packers.
So yeah, so I had at least those 3 correct.
You had those 3 correct. You had Brady wrong because you said he was picked by someone else. And here's the 2004 NFL draft, right? First overall pick. Right, let's see. First overall pick, Eli Manning selected by the San Diego Chargers.
Okay, so I had that correct too.
Yeah. The New York Giants, 3 spots later, selected Phillip Rivers. And what they basically did is they did a switcheroo, like right away. Like on draft. There was like Eli Manning was like, I'm not playing for the Chargers, and they were like, what? We're swapping him. So Eli Manning has never played for the Chargers. Phillip Rivers never played for the Giants, but they were technically drafted by those teams.
Okay.
So that's a bit of a switcheroo that happened there. And then the last one is can you name the only team in NFL history that ever had a perfect season, including the winning of the Super Bowl?
Yeah, the Dolphins. Yeah. I referenced it earlier.
That's correct. Yeah, that was interesting enough. You did. Can you name a team that had a perfect season without the winning of the Super Bowl?
I don't know right offhand. No.
Patriots did it once, and then they ran to Eli Manning.
Oh right, yeah,
Mr. Manning. Can you name a team that didn't have a perfect season but won the Super Bowl? Just kidding.
Like any team that won the Super Bowl, probably.
But the Dolphins.
But the Dolphins, yeah, because they only won the one.
Where they had a perfect season. That's true. And they celebrate still that was in 1972. These old guys get together every year as soon as the last team loses their first game. When the Niners lost against the Seahawks. Like, next day you get the article on NFL.com, oh man, Larry Sonka and those old dudes are celebrating the fact that they're still the only... Yeah. It's terrible. You don't want no part of it. It's really about time someone actually does it. Someone ends it, because it's never going to end. It's terrible. Yeah, but that's...
How long can this go on?
Just awful. That's how it goes. So that's the NFL quiz. I think they did pretty well. You could have gotten the Super Bowl
probably, yeah.
Some of them you could have had. But next time we should do it reverse. By the way, I quiz you on Warcraft, you quiz me on the NFL or something.
Yeah, sure.
We're thinking about doing that with the trash talks at some point. We'll have to incorporate them for that. Maybe we can do one-on-one quizzes or something. That'll be pretty cool. But I think we did pretty well. We definitely both improved our knowledge in those fields.
Well, I feel like that's kind of a given, though, almost.
Yeah. But if originally...
the first time you asked me about the NFL, the only thing I could do is recite some player names that you told me at some point.
If I had originally asked you, who named one player that was ever drafted first overall, you would have been like, Jimmy Garoppolo? Or something like that. And I would have been like, who the fuck's Archimond? Or what's the dragon aspect sort of thing.
Yeah,
right?
Also, even for the questions that I got wrong, at least for some of them, I still... had a reasonable idea of the passing leaders and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you had...
I recited half the list.
Yeah,
I had half the top 5 I knew. I blanked on one of the more important ones.
65 million-year-old Peyton Man.
Wow, but yeah, I mean, I feel like I did.
Yeah, pretty well.
Overall, pretty.
We both did pretty well. So that's
still don't know that much about the NFL history though.
Yeah, it's mostly current NFL, but history is being made as we speak in the NFL. History is always being made. Fun fact. That's not my fact of the week. But we have a song of the week.
We do have a song of the week.
JJ, what is your song of this week?
My song of the week is "When the Curtain Falls" by Greta Van Fleet.
I've never heard either name or band before.
Yes.
By whomst?
Greta Van Fleet. That's a band.
Is that a person, like the name Greta Van Fleet?
Fun fact: they're named after a real person who lived in the town that they come from. Her name was actually Gretna Van Fleet, but because no one would get that correct, they changed it. But because they just needed a name when they were performing on a show, they just kind of stole her name. Yeah, and they just asked if they could keep it.
Sure.
So those guys, relatively recent band. The song I believe is from. Let me not say anything wrong. I want to say from it's from 2018, I believe.
Wow, that's recent.
The band was Google says founded in 2012.
That's very recent.
Yes.
Goddamn.
Dude, they are about our age, actually, more or less.
Wow. Man,
I think most of them are like a year or two older than us.
Putting music history into proportion is a podcast topic at some point. Because you wouldn't believe how old some musicians are, how long they've been active, and how new some of them are, like comparatively.
Hey, you remember the last time the Stones released an album?
I don't know.
I believe it was this decade, though.
Today? I don't know. It's crazy. That's a topic at some point. But alright, I'll check that out. My song of the week is 1901 by Phoenix. I'm not sure if I ever told you that or if you ever heard it. It might be. It
doesn't ring a bell.
I think I might have put it in the music share at one point. Yeah, it definitely was in the music share at one point. Maybe you have it in one of your playlists or in a folder or you didn't download it. In which case, go download it. But yeah, it's a pretty good song. Indie rock sort of thing.
Okay.
It's not bad. So that's our songs of the week. Let us know yours, obviously, in the comments of this video and the viewer music suggestion playlist. We've received a couple of them. They're pretty good. We appreciate those. Drop a like on the video if you did enjoy it. And if you have ideas for future podcast topics, drop them down there because we'll look at them and maybe we will find some inspiration if we need stuff. But catching up with some of the quiz topics is definitely a fun thing to do. Yeah. And we might incorporate Sergey as well as the Trash Talkers in some of this at some point in the future.
Let's ask Sergey about the NFL.
Yeah. Or Warcraft. He doesn't know about anything. He's no clue. You can ask him about programming.
Sure. That's no.
How do you know that you have Python installed? I don't know. I've seen it as a meme somewhere. I thought it was funny. Drop a like on the video. We'll see you in the next one. That's it.
That's it.